Hey, well, good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy Striffler. I'm the Director of Real Estate for the Austin Independent School District, and really appreciate everyone joining us. We have, of course, this is district-wide, so we have multiple communities here, and really want to acknowledge that for some, this repurposing process, comes with some anger and fear and pain, and we're mindful of that. But we're glad you're part of the conversation as we try to move forward. And so if we can go to the next slide. This evening, we're gonna just, for those who are new, we're gonna talk about why we're repurposing these district sites. We're gonna try to define the process for you and show you the various phases, and then we'll provide updates on the 6 sites that are part of this repurposing, which is the Anita Ferrales Coy site, the former Rosedale School site, Pease Elementary, Brook Elementary, Sens Elementary, and Metz Elementary. And then at the end, we'll have time for questions and answers. If you'd like, you can put questions in the chat, but would kindly ask you to wait towards the end. We're going to try to get through the presentation, and then we'll have time to go through everything. So if we start just when we talk about repurposing is we think about these sites, first and foremost, the focus here is how we can be good stewards of these properties and maintain ownership, so that way they can be long-term investments in the community. As I'm sure you all are aware, some of the challenges that we're facing as a school district have been the declining enrollment, the attraction, retention of our teachers and campus staff, and then the education funding challenges that we face here, not only in Austin, but just across the state of Texas. I'm sure many of you have seen discussions about the recapture program, and now at the legislative session, talks about the student allotment, et cetera. And so as we think about how all these things overlap with each other, we also are mindful of the continuing rising costs here in the city of Austin, from everything from housing to childcare to gas, transportation, food, groceries, et cetera. So really thinking about how these sites, these land, these facilities, how we can really put them to a future use that is a long-term investment for this community to help this school district thrive. So then, if we could go to the next slide, please, Gloria. So then, if we talk about the process, as we've already been underway for some of the sites, it really is a five phases, and it always starts with community engagement and really making sure that we talk to the community about what are your needs and how the future of this use of these sites could best meet those needs. After we've kind of gathered that feedback, then we move on to phase 2, which is a feasibility study, where we really try to take a good hard look at the various uses that were identified. What is doable on the site in terms of what's financially possible, what will the community support, what will the land itself bear in terms of physically being able to kind of build these various uses. And then in phase 3, we gather all those findings and come back to the community to say, here's what we found, and try to get some more feedback, so that we can then move into phase 4, which is where we really look to define the site criterion and establish, here's the vision for the future use of the site. So that way we can then bring a recommendation to the board of trustees, which then will move us into phase 5, which is implementation. And phase 5, depending upon the use, could be kind of a short period of time in terms of getting a new use at the site going. Could take longer. It really depends on the scope that we're working with. So if we can go to the next Gloria. So as we start thinking about the individual sites, the first one that we kicked off the repurposing process back in January of 2022 and was the Anita Florales Coy site. Is currently home to our Alternative Learning Center. It's a 20-acre campus, and this has been more of an underutilized site. And so we had talked with community, and one of the resounding needs that kept coming up was housing. And that is something we also heard from our teachers and staff. And so in March, the Board of Trustees passed a resolution for us to go identify a development partner. And so the goal for the site is to build a new facility for the Alternative Learning Center. Right now, the school building that's on the site is much larger than their size than they need, but also has never been designed for the education environment where they can most thrive. Historically, the students of the Alternative Learning Center have kind of moved from campus to campus based on other needs in the district, and we really want to prioritize them and design for them a great school facility that is responsive to their learning. And in addition, we're looking to build high quality, attainable rental housing for teachers, staff, and families. Recently, last month, we had a community survey where we gathered feedback about desired features, which we'll talk about here in a second. But for you to all understand in terms of next steps where we're at is that we will be issuing a request for proposals in June. So we'll be looking for that development partner, whether that's a for-profit or nonprofit organization. And so we'll take the summer to get those proposals, to evaluate, go through everything, and then look to come to the board in the month of October with a recommendation on the selected development partner. So Gloria, if you go next slide. So we just want to share that this survey, as we're drafting this request for proposals, as we talk about the goals and making sure it's clear to those who respond that we want them to mimic the values of the school district, we also want to give them some direction beyond the ALC facility and the housing as to what it would be most desired in terms of features that the community would like to see. And so if you can see from the chart here, what really rose to the top was making sure that the redesign of this campus includes playground and park space, that it offers pedestrian bike friendly amenities, but also would like to see if possible include a child care center. As mentioned, we know that's a continuing rising cost and that there's a lack of options here across the city of Austin. And then you can see some of the other options that were presented, which didn't score as highly, but are still going to be shared with the developers who are responding to the RFP in terms of an overall list. Some of these will be more nice to have, and of course, after we've identified the development partner, there will be substantive community engagement in the design process for the site. So if we go to the next is the Pease Elementary facility. This campus is located downtown near the Capitol. This is historically the oldest public school in the state of Texas and has a wonderful history and legacy of serving students. And we're really, through the feedback from the community, wanted to focus on that. And so the board passed the resolution in March for us to identify a partner to operate an early childhood education center that provides high quality, affordable care. So this is a way for us to bring students back to that campus, albeit younger than in the past, but to have students back on site and really provide an opportunity for affordable care, but to get those students kindergarten ready and hopefully create a pipeline for the district. And so last month we issued a request for proposal. It was open to the public. And so that's currently ongoing, and proposals will come back next week, and then we will take time this summer to evaluate those proposals and come to the board in August with a recommendation on who that selected partner would be. Our goal is to have that early childhood education center open in fall of 2024. We really anticipate that we're going to need all of next school year, finalize any agreement with the partner, but also to do the improvements necessary to get this building ready to welcome students and families. Next is the former Rosedale School. So whereas for Coy and Pease, we're in the implementation phase, here at Rosedale, we're really in one step back, which is that phase 4, which is defining the site criteria. So the last time we spoke with the community, we had shared some options of what the site could be. There was a focus on housing in those options. And so what we heard was that the community was supportive of building housing, but not necessarily density. And really, I think what we were hearing was density in terms of height on the site. There was a preference to see single family homes or townhomes. We heard concerns about traffic. There were concerns about traffic and the impact on neighborhood, and a desire to preserve park and green space on the site. So our next step is to define that site criteria, really taking all the findings into account along with all the community feedback. And so we will be coming back to everyone in June or July with that site criteria to kind of get that final feedback before we go to the board with a recommendation on how to move forward. And the next, Gloria, is Sims Elementary. So here we are just now kicking off the repurposing process. So as I mentioned before, as we define the process, that means we're starting with community engagement. And so we'll have meetings in English and Spanish virtually on May 23rd, and then in person at the Sims school building on June 6th. We'll also be gathering input via public survey. And then once we've had the community engagement and collect all the feedback via the survey, we will order that feasibility study. So if we go to next, for those of you who would love to participate in submitting your ideas, the survey is now live. We're using Thought Exchange. It allows folks to not only submit their ideas, but also to rate other ideas. And so this really helps us see not only what individuals are proposing, but kind of have a ongoing dialogue where people can weigh into each other's ideas so we can really see what comes to the forefront. So you can scan that QR code, or we also have the link, and we will make sure to drop that link in the chat for you all before the end of this meeting. So if we can go to the next, please. So then Brook Elementary. So Brook is over at 5th and Tillery. So currently the repurposing process is on hold. And really what's driving that is that we are currently utilizing the building to support our special education department. As I'm sure, hopefully you've all seen, SPED has been a priority for our interim superintendent, Matias Segura, but also our board of trustees. And so in addition, as you've seen probably in the news about TEA and the conservatorship, SPED, we really want to make sure it gets all the resources it needs. And currently the building's being used for collaborative workspace, for staff training and student evaluations. And for as long as needed, for this school year, next year, school year, et cetera, we really want to make sure SPED has what it needs. And so we're continuing to support them their use of Brook Elementary for those purposes. Once we have clarity as to, any kind of long-term needs of SPED, then we'll be ready to come to the community, start talking about the repurposing process in terms of that community engagement. If we could go to the next, please. And then we have Metz Elementary. And so, excuse me, Metz is also located in East Austin, off Robert Martinez, near Cesar Chavez Street. And we also are on hold in terms of being ready to start the repurposing process for this campus, as we need to utilize the building to support district-wide learning and services. So starting this summer, our library media services group will be housed there. The library media services group supports all our librarians, as well as, processing all the books that go to all our campuses. They do trainings, etc. They also manage the archive for the district. We'll also have at Metz our Science and Health Resource Center. So they provide all the curriculum for our science classes across the district. In addition, they have outdoor learning opportunities. And so this site will be used for field trips where students will come and to work with our outdoor learning specialist. We also have our planetarium that will be set up temporarily at Metz, for those field trips. And so not only will it be kind of this servicing the campuses in terms of the curriculum, but it will also be a place where students can come and interact and learn. In addition, we'll have our health services and nursing department located at Metz. As you might have seen recently, we are going to start bringing nursing services in-house, starting at the high school. So they will start overseeing the nursing for the high schools across the district. And so it's a small team, but they'll be supporting all the campuses. And so they'll use this as kind of their main base. We'll also be using the building to support the 2022 bond program. We have project teams that are working on executing the $2.4 billion bond program, which includes the modernizations of 25 campuses, along with all the targeted projects. So they'll be utilizing space in the facility as well. And then finally, staff training throughout the year. We'll be using the large cafeteria for everything from custodial to food service to maintenance, and to other groups who need that training space. And so this building, again, while different than in its past use, it is really going to be the heart of a lot of district-wide serving groups. And we're excited for it to be able to, support our students on the day-to-day with all this, the learning and curriculum it provides, as well as these opportunities for students to come over to, for the outdoor learning in Discovery Hill. So that was a lot of information. I'll pause there, take a breath, and we will welcome questions. You can put them in the chat, or we'll also invite people to unmute themselves and ask away.
There's Jeremy. I'll read the first message.
Question.
Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
Why don't we start with, I see we have some hands up.
Okay.
Gloria, so start with Karen. I saw Karen's hands up.
Yes, we live across the street from this school. I know that the main part of that building, the oldest part, might still be usable as some kind of a little community center. It's a historic building built in 1939. It's fairly small, the original part, and I'm wondering if there's been consideration to retaining a small part of that original building as a sort of a community center for this neighborhood. We also are considered to be part of the Allendale neighborhood. Is that a possibility? Has that been considered? We're very much support the idea of housing. We like that idea. We'd like to know though, is there a possibility of retaining some of that older building?
Confirming that you're talking about the Rosedale, former Rosedale school.
I'm
site?
sorry. Yes, I am.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so like I said, currently we're working on kind of trying to narrow in on a vision for that site. We're open to an adaptive reuse of that building. I will say it is in really tough condition. It is, as you mentioned, it's an older building and has not had all the investment that it really needed, especially in the past few years as we built the new Rosedale School and moved all the students over there. But that is, say it's under consideration.
Daniel, did you have a comment or question?
Yes, thank you. And it's nice to see those of you who I know, and hopefully get to meet some of those that I don't. And Jeremy, you and I had, we met with some of the members from my contact team about the Coy repurposing project. And since then, we have submitted comments, and we will resubmit our comments now knowing the timetable about choosing the development partner. But I just wanted to just briefly say that since this conversation, since we've been thinking of the whole idea of AISD shifting over to housing, at first I wasn't so sure about that, but actually, we also suggested childcare. So the cost of living in Austin is, housing, childcare are two of the biggest expenses. And so I would hope that any project that has housing in it, in near any neighborhood, have childcare centers available not only to the people in the site, like the teachers and custodial staff. I think it's great that AISD would be providing that and lowering the cost of being a teacher in Austin or being a staff person in Austin. But the childcare component, I think, is as important. And going forward, I think every big development project that has housing should have in-house childcare. So for the Coy project, like the other, maybe any of the other projects that are big enough, if you are going to have housing and do all that, I would hope that you'll have a healthy childcare component. But the germane thing is to make it affordable. So I don't think any family should pay more than $500 a month for their kid, because I know people that pay $1,600, almost $2,000 a month for childcare. It's unbelievable. So that would be a great help. So that's all the comments I wanted to make. And like I say, we will resubmit our. Oh, the last thing I'll say about the Coy, if you do choose a development partner, we hope that it's Guadalupe Neighborhood Development Corporation, as we've talked about that. They're the only ones that are addressing the right to return, right to stay list policy. So I'm hopeful that you will, we're going to push for that. We're going to flood you with letters.
Thank you so much.
Thank
David,
you.
did you have a question or a comment?
Did you say David?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, well, I just, the Zoom froze up right as he was talking about Rosedale. So just repeat what you said, because that was the one thing I really wanted to hear about.
Sure,
the last
David.
couple of sentences.
Yep. Yeah. So we are basically working to define the site criteria for the Rosedale site based on all the feedback that we've had to date and the findings of the feasibility study. And so we'll be looking to do that in June or July with a community meeting. We'll present that info and get some further feedback, so that way we can hopefully then go to the board with a recommendation.
Okay, so that means you're still figuring out what you want to do with the site, and it's not like you've decided on something and you're moving forward with that.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. And so what Daniel just said something interesting, because one thing that bothered me about the housing idea is that all you can do is like market to teachers. And it seems a little bit light because we all are excited about the idea of helping teachers. But when all you can do is build some houses or apartments or whatever they are and then market them, it's not much. But it seems like with the childcare component, you would be able to do something there where you really can offer discounted tuition, maybe even free, for teachers or for AISD staff as as a component and a benefit. And it's also more in AISD's sweet spot than housing. So maybe the two combined would improve your marketing reach. If you had, oh, here's some housing and nearby daycare and a little park, it's a good use of that 4.5 acres.
Thank you.
Yes, one of the things that the district is currently working on is developing more access to childcare at our campuses. And so there is a plan to, I believe it's 23 sites that will have it this coming school year, and then it scales out after that as well. So there's some really good things that are coming up. And but yes, this is a great idea to also make that available with these developments. Thank you so much. Susan, did you have a question or a comment?
Susan, you need to unmute
Yeah,
yourself.
Sorry. Okay, now I'd like to address the childcare component suggested in all these various situations, and especially the childcare center at Pease. I'd like to know to whom I can speak or get my information to about quality childcare. Trust for Learning is a funding collaborative that specializes in education, and they had a list of quality programs that started everywhere from, I think Avance was on the list, all the way down to bachelor's degrees, a list of quality programs which included a comprehensive approach to the child in that specific time of development. And I think it's very valuable. And to speak about quality childcare, what does that look like? And I'd like to get that list and anything about Trust for Learning that would be helpful. Personally, I'm a Montessori teacher, and Montessori is on the list, but I'm speaking about a range of quality. Trust for Learning calls it ideal learning, and they had hoped to get quality improvement information and training to all the Head Start and early Head Start sites. And I don't know where that project's going. I wasn't a part of that, but please tell me to whom I can address this concern and this list regarding quality childcare and training.
Sure. So I just dropped my email address and phone number in the chat.
Okay.
And so I would ask if you could follow up with me after this meeting. I can put you in touch with the with John Otero, who does early childhood learning for the district, but also see if there's anyone else applicable that we should connect you with. So
Okay. Thank you very much.
no problem. Thank you.
Roxanne Evans, did you have a question or comment?
Yes, I do. I have heard varying stories about how the housing will work. I've heard some people say that any housing created will be used exclusively or made available exclusively for teachers or school district employees. But I've heard other people say that there are federal and other restrictions that might mean that housing teachers and employees could be given preferences for housing only. Can I get some clarification on how that might work?
Yes, thank you. That's a great question, because that is been a source of confusion throughout this process. So the district recognizes we are not experts in housing, nor do we want to get in the business of being a landlord for our employees. So for the Coy site, as we are working to find that development partner, we are looking for them to not only build the housing, but to manage and operate it. So we will be leasing the land to them. They'll be responsible for managing and operating that housing. The district will work with them to set income eligibility requirements. And those requirements are based around our teacher and staff salaries. So there will be a component that is what most folks know as big A affordable, but the majority is focused on what we're really calling attainable housing, workforce housing, which is still below market, but is really gapped here in the city of Austin and is making it really challenging for our teachers and campus staff, which includes our custodians, our bus drivers, our maintenance, our food service workers, to be able to afford to live in the communities they serve. So we will be prioritizing our teachers and staff in terms of the marketing of the apartments when they're built and ready to rent. But at the end of the day, it will not be exclusive. It is your income that makes you eligible, not your employer. You know, we are hopeful that with 10,000 employees, that there'll be plenty of demand. But at the end of the day, this also will be available if, you know, there are units available at the end of the day to the general public. Because we know beyond our teachers and staff, our firefighters, our nurses, our EMTs are all having the same challenge where they often don't qualify for affordable housing because they make too much money, but they don't make enough money in the city of Austin to comfortably afford any of the luxury market rate housing that's being built so frequently.
And Gavino, did you have a question or comments?
Yes, I just want to place on the record, I did attend the, I referred to the Allen meeting when you were there, Jeremy. And it was not all uniform that they wanted housing to be there. That's an unfortunate doctrine of the testimony that AISD is giving, because I shared with you as an organization, a concilio, that we were opposed to any housing, especially the different scenarios where one of them is a 5-story building. But anyway, moving forward, I hope that AISD is transparent and does not doctor their propaganda in moving in this direction. And I'm speaking specifically about Allen, Metz, and Brooks, which are adjacent to me. And I'm sharing my fiduciary input into this whole process. At that meeting at Coy, there was a teacher there, and she said, I can't afford those rents when this is built. So I'm glad you did say that it's open market. It's not specifically tied to any AISD teacher or employee. And the other thing, if you look around the area of Coy, there's 5, I counted 6 apartment dwellings coming up. We're talking about over 1,000 that are going to be up within the next 2 years. So how is AISD going to compete with that and spend some of the time? And lastly, in reading the mission statement of the school board, there's not one word in there that y'all are obligated to provide housing to employees or to anyone. So it disappoints me that AISD needs to focus on more important things academically than on this particular housing. And I'll cut it at this. We will challenge you. We'll go to court if need be to stop Allen from become housing. And I want to let you know that right now. And but if you go there, we don't support Guadalupe, not the way they treat their residents, especially women that rent from them. Because as LULAC, we had to go before the board numerous times on how abusive their management was. And I'll end it at that. And I'll say again, please be transparent, Jeremy, and let people know that there was also a party there that are opposed to housing at Allen. So it wasn't like a whole 100 consensus. Thank you.
Ms. Houston, do you have a question or comment?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the school district for at least venturing out in this way. I served on a committee when I was a public servant, and that's been almost 7, 8 years ago now, where we started having this conversation about how difficult it was for students and parents and employees of the district to be able to live in the city of Austin where they were employed. And so I'm talking specifically about Sims Elementary when it was combined to make Norman Sims. That's always been something the community has talked about because that's a huge gentrifying area. And we need to have mixed income, especially for folks at the 60% and lower income levels. And so there's a large playground, there's a park across the street, the fire station is across the street, apartment buildings are going up all over Springdale and 12th Street. And so we would love to have you all start on us first, but since you all have us later and we're gonna start on that, because we've been talking about this for years. And we think it can be done and can be done in a way that the district isn't burdened. The staff have a place to, childcare was discussed. Everything that we're talking about today, we've been talking about that for years now. And so I'm glad that you all are trying to do something about it.
Thanks. We hope you participate in the survey and see us come to one of our community meetings.
I will definitely be there and I will participate.
Great, thank you.
Hi, Sarah, would you like to go next?
You're on mute, Sarah.
Yes, I would love to go next. Thank you so much. I am thrilled to be here. And I wanted to echo one, it's great to see all these activists. You know, many of you have known your name and interacted with you over the years. And I love that we have this community that wants to voice their opinion. I also wanted to echo some of Ms. Houston's sentiments. I am thrilled that the district is considering housing, you know, and just to put this in perspective for other participants, the district could just put a for sale sign on these and sell it to the highest bidder. And you know, there may be some merit in that, but I'm thrilled that you're going through this process. And I love the idea of considering childcare at every site. We have a vast shortage of that, housing at every site. And I also wanted to remind participants that apartments aren't the only type of housing, you know, townhomes, small lot homes. There may be home ownership options. There's so many things out there that can be done. And so I'm glad you're pursuing those. I do think based on some of the comments I'm seeing, you probably need to make it clear to people that the district isn't getting into the business of housing. The district is getting into the business of issuing long-term leases for its land for uses. You know, I know y'all are not going to be building the housing, operating the housing, et cetera. And I think people probably need to understand that better. And then finally, I just want to say I live really close to Metz. I would love to see housing on that site. But you have a lot of comments about Metz in the chat. And I think it would be great if you could get some more information out about that. I literally pass Metz 3 or 4 times a day. It is a block from my house. And right now it's a de facto dog park. So I'm glad it's getting put to some higher use, even though the dog park's great too, but I don't have a dog.
Thank you. And Gloria, if you're okay, maybe I can answer a few questions that I'm seeing here in the chat. So
Sure.
First, I'm seeing a question. I'm going backwards up the chat for everyone. How much of P's will be used for childcare? So that's really going to be determined through this process of identifying a partner. We would love to maximize the use, but we are mindful that there are capacity limits due to licensing requirements for early childhood education. So that's to be determined, but certainly we'd like trying to get as many students as possible. Another question I saw was from Janine Martin. She said, do all the repurposing sites include housing, or is it just Rosedale? So currently, the focus for the Coy site is housing, along with building a new ALC facility. And the direction for Rosedale to date is housing. Pease is for this early childhood education center. And so that's as far as we've gone in terms of Sims. We are just starting that conversation. In terms of, we're going to have community meetings this month to ask folk, what are your needs and what uses would you like to see there? And then, as mentioned, Brook and Metz are on hold for now, given their use of supporting the district-wide needs of our students. Gloria, what other questions have we seen? I'll go to the top here now.
Yeah, so I can go through. Gavino had commented, Jeremy, you also heard no housing at Allen.
Yes, that was from Gavino who spoke, and
Yes.
David spoke as well.
Ms. Cheryl Bradley said, we have magnet middle and high schools, but no elementaries. Why not use Sims as a magnet elementary?
Our enrollment does not support opening a new school at this time. You know, many of our individual campuses are under enrolled, and we really want to do whatever we can to strengthen those campuses. And unfortunately, we've lost about 10,000 students over the past decade, and we're projected to continue to decline for the next 5 years before it kind of plateaus. A lot of this is due to the rising cost of Austin displacing families, or just pushing families out to the suburbs. Of course, there's also the increasing presence of charter schools, and just in general, lack of support of public education at the Texas legislative level. So as much as we would like to have these continue to be schools, we just, from the cost perspective and from enrollment, we can't support that.
And if I may say something, I want to say, yes, that's true, because the majority of the people who are moving into at least my part of town don't have a whole lot of children. They have animals. And so they'd rather have a dog park than housing that's affordable for teachers and employees of the district. And that means that our enrollment is lower because they're either charter school, homeschool, or private school, and they're not sending their kids to the schools that we're talking about. So we've got to be mindful of the fact that there are not a whole lot of families with children moving into, I'm in District 1, so there are not a whole lot of families with children there. So we have to be more creative about how we use the buildings.
One thing I would, thank you for that. One thing I would point out, though, for the Coy site with this focus on housing, is we are working to make sure there are a plethora of family-sized units in that development, because we know that is also contributing to this issue, is that a lot of the new apartment buildings going up are catering towards singles. And certainly that's a need even within our teachers and staff, but there's a lack of family-sized units. And so we want to see that as part of the development on Coy, and likely echoed at Rosedale as well, is to make sure that there's family-sized units so we can keep families here in Austin.
Bronwyn, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. I was just a couple of questions in the chat about if there's any kind of timeline for how long the Met site will be used for the district-wide servicing groups, and if there's any building space left, and are there any plans for the outdoor park and playground space, or is that just going to be the field trips and summer groups?
Sure, thank you. So we don't have a timeline for the district use, you know, for now and for the foreseeable future, that it's going to be used to support, like I said, all these district-wide departments. In terms of the outdoor space, we are currently working to make sure that the outdoor area is accessible for the community. I believe Metz is that playground that's, and the green space is not locked off, but we're making sure that's clear, that, the community can come and use that. And hopefully we can enhance that area as well with the outdoor learning that will benefit not only the students who come for field trips, but the community who uses it, throughout the week and weekends. So our outdoor learning specialist is working hard to try to put together a plan for how to enhance the outdoor green space and play areas at the site.
Thank you.
What will the process be for public input for the site design for Rosedale?
Sure, thank you. So as mentioned, in June or July, we just don't have an exact dates yet on the calendar, but we will have community meetings. We'll look to have likely one that's virtual, then ones that in person. Last time we met at the local library. Anticipate we'll do that again. And so that'll be a chance for people to weigh in on kind of the recommended site criteria and give us our feedback, so that way we can continue to refine before we go to the board in the fall.
Good evening, Mr. Striffler. Thanks for presenting such great project. This is Minu with Oak Hills Development Group. We're an affordable housing development company. My question is, where can we get more information on the RFP and respond to it? Thanks for the opportunity, letting us serve the community.
Sure, I will drop my email address into the chat again, and that's the best way to shoot me an email, and I will put you in contact with the team that's helping us with the RFP that will be coming out in June, and making sure you're on that distribution list.
Any concern regarding the need to partner for housing? AISD is not a housing authority and struggles to maintain special education for students. Is AISD moving into areas that are not focused on the education of the kids, and that they are poorly prepared to move into the realm of housing?
I would, again, just say that we are looking to partner with someone who will be the man building the housing, operating the housing. We're not using staff to handle the day-to-day operations of the housing. We know our focus needs to be on the students, but we do have these sites that we believe can be put to use to serve the community. And, when we recently polled our staff, we had over 2,700 employees respond to a survey, and over 70% of them identified as cost burden, meaning they're spending more than 30% of their income on housing. And so, we know that need is also echoed by our families. And so that's really driving this. And as we've hoped to try to make clear in the past, but I'll repeat again, this is not in lieu of increased compensation for our teachers. Hopefully everyone saw the most recent board meeting where our board of trustees has continued to make clear that increased compensation is a focus, and they're doing as much as they can within our budget and within the constraints of a Texas funding model, which currently is taking $860 million from us through recapture and is paying us $4,000 less per student than the national average. So this would also be a great time to encourage all of you to reach out to your Texas legislative representatives as they are wrapping up the session, to tell them that the proposed $90 increase to student allotment is not sufficient. It doesn't even keep up with inflation. So we need it to at least be $1,000 to keep up with inflation. But without a huge move on the needle on compensation, and without a big change in the costs of living in Austin, we believe that we can help our teachers and staff and families by providing attainable housing, which is severely lacking in this community.
I'm so sorry. I see Camden Gilman. Did you have a question or comment?
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Actually, I wanted to go back to what Roxanne had asked. She had asked about the housing being open to everyone, not exclusive to AISD teachers and staff. What about those childcare options? Would that be the same, open to anyone in the community as long as they met certain income requirements, or could you make the childcare exclusive to AISD teachers and staff?
So Pease is our first efforts with this in terms of operating with a partner that's not on one of our active elementary campuses. And so we are looking to make it open to everyone. We want to, of course, give some priority to district staff if that is, childcare is helpful for them, if that's need. So ultimately, though, it'll come down to income requirements. So, there's a kind of pre-marketing, if you will, to district staff and teachers, but ultimately open to the general public, assuming that, they meet the requirements, and those requirements are to make sure that this is affordable, right?
Got it. Thanks.
Sarah, did you have another question or comment? Or Ms. Houston, did you have another question or comment? No? Okay. So next comment that I see in the chat, Pease RFP should be an open and transparent process. Is the timeline being changed to accommodate new requests?
So the Pease process has been open to the public. March at the public board meeting, the board approved this direction, and we have posted that RFP publicly on Bonfire. I'd be happy to get anyone who'd like the info to get onto Bonfire to access that RFP. But it was publicly posted in newspapers as following as our procurement process does for every procurement opportunity. And so I know time is coming up here shortly with a due date of May 16th, but there is still time if people are interested.
Next comment, I'm very concerned with AISD taking on a new business, housing, when it clearly needs to focus on getting its primary job, educating our students. The district is seeking out a partner to do this work. It won't be Austin ISD that will take the work on, as far as I understand. Next comment, or a question, can there be agreements in place that those reviewing contracts, board members, superintendent making the development award decisions be banned from working for the developer to ensure no ethical concerns?
I'm only pausing because I wouldn't foresee any other way about going about this. I'm trying to make sure I clearly understand, but we follow our procurement process, which is in terms of the evaluators, that there's no conflicts of interest there.
Next question, do all the repurposing sites include housing, or is it just Rosedale?
Again, focus for housing at Coy and Rosedale, and Pease is an early childhood education center. The others to be determined, and so that's why we have this survey for Sims. It is, and I see a question from Rose, it's Sims specific, but that survey is now live, and then we'll have community meetings as well this month to complement that survey.
How much of Pease will be used for childcare? Was this already answered?
Yes. Yes, okay. So as much as possible within, what's reasonable in terms of capacity and licensing requirements.
Next comment, it could be ACOM revolving door all over again. That's a transparency issue, and the process should not create a benefit to the decision makers, especially if they have real estate partnerships and ventures currently. I think that was addressed. Next question, how will this process interface with the new property corporation the board created?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes, how will this process interface with the new property corporation the board created?
Yes, so recently the board approved the formation of a public facility corporation, and so that public facility corporation, really the most important thing is it allows us to keep the properties tax exempt. So they have historically been tax exempt because all of our owned properties are. And so what's important about that is that means the housing can we can ensure affordability over the long term by removing property taxes. You know, as you sure know, for those who rent, property taxes are passed on to tenants through your monthly rent from the landlords. And so by removing that margin, which especially has become such a variable here in the city with property taxes increasing by wild percentages year over year here, if we remove that, we can better ensure that the rents stay consistently affordable over time.
What percentage of the housing sites will be left as green space?
I can't answer that specifically at this time, but we know that green space, park space has been something that the community has made clear during our past engagement is important.
Yes. Will the housing be integrated into their neighborhoods or segregated as separate walled off developments?
The hope is for it to be sensitive to the context of the surrounding neighborhood. And, you know, again, our next step for like the Coy site is to identify a developer, but then we really would look for them to lead a substantive community engagement process as they work through the design. So that way the community can provide that type of input to make sure that whatever the design of the housing looks like, that it's you know, well thought out and responsive to the neighborhood.
Housing was the only options that were presented, even though during the initial comment period, most entered green space, dog park, and community center. What happened to those considerations?
So green space and park, I mean, that certainly is still part of the thought of, you know, the features of the site in terms of a community center, you know, that was really weighed against what we were hearing in terms of not only just from the community that attended those meetings, but from our teachers and staff. Like I said, this continues to be a huge issue in terms of attraction and retention of everyone, from not only our teachers, but all the safety net at our campuses, which is our transportation, our food service, our custodial, our maintenance, all, you know, the front office staff, everyone who interacts with our students on a day-to-day basis. You know, we want to make sure we keep them here in Austin. And so that has been driving the focus of Rosedale and Coy sites.
And I'm going to try to get through the questions that are left in the chat, but if you have other questions, I shared Jeremy's email address in the chat so that you can send them there since we had the meeting scheduled for 1 hour. Let's see. Where did I lost my place. I'm sorry, y'all. I encourage outreach to neighborhood associations. Related to that, why is the Sims playground blocked off from the community use?
I'm sorry, what site is that?
Sims playground.
Yeah, so we're working to make sure that that green space and playground is open to the public. You know, there had, of course, trying to keep up with the maintenance of all these properties is crucial, and but I've had those conversations with operations even yet today, and we're making sure that they can be made accessible and that there's clear signage so people know in terms of hours and when they can be on site, et cetera.
Let's see. AISD staff and teachers
Gloria?
of staff were polled. Yes.
Please forgive me. I've been answering some of those questions on the chat. So just to make sure that everybody has an answer, but also that we are respectful of everybody's time. I would love for us, if it's okay, if there's no pressing issues. I think we have answered most of the questions in the chat. But I also wanted to mention, please forgive me if you don't know me, my name is Joy Diaz, and I am part of the community engagement team. One of the things that I would love for you to know is that we are going to come to you once a semester, at least, with these conversations. So this is not the last of it. This is just the beginning of it. If there's any other pressing questions, please put them in the chat, or please take our email addresses. Jeremy's is right there, jeremy.striffler, STRIFFLER, at austinisd.org. And mine is much, much easier because I have a shorter name. It's Joy, just those 3 letters, joy.diaz, D as in diamond, IA as in zebra, and Z as in zebra, Diaz at austinisd.org. I just want to be very respectful of everybody's time. Thank you, Jeremy. He's like, she cannot even spell her name. Joy Diaz at austinisd.org. Perfect. Would you all mind if we said goodbye for now? Is that okay? Or does anybody have any pressing questions before we part? Hearing no objections.
I think I'm in music room.
Oh, hi. Hi, Karen.
I think
No,
that Karen's question was addressed in the chat about the music room.
About the music room?
Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, Karen, if you could send your question in to the email address, we would appreciate it. Anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. And we look forward to seeing you again. Again, like Joy said, at least once a semester, we will provide you updates on where we are with the properties. And we are kicking off engagement about the Sims, the former elementary school we know as Sims. And thank you so much for your time. You'll have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.